Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Rocket Rabbit Commentaries run through of Burnout Paradise. And in this episode, after having successfully gotten our learner's permit, we need to go and switch out our vehicle from the Oval Champ 69 to the Hunter Mesquite. The one thing that I wanted to bring up that is just an interesting little tidbit is that the Hunter brand name for this is more or less American muscle cars. As you'll see from this being, a classic Chevy thingamabob. I don't know what classic muscle cars and classic sport cars really are, but I do understand that specific body types and specific designs are attributed to specific regional differences.
Well, in any case, strikes me that American-made cars just drop down from heaven.
Whoosh!
I mean, seriously, when do you ever see a car just fall perfectly vertical straight down from a nondescript starting point in altitude?
Well, from a nondescript starting point, not so much, but scrapyards have, the first third of that experience quite often.
At the corner of 4th and Glancy Avenue.
Alright, so what we are doing here specifically is we are heading over to the I know it's difficult to see on your screen, Mr. Cloud, but there is a white star with a red circle on the far left side of our mini map, and we are attempting to go do that because since we went through a repair shop with our Hunter Mesquite, the burning route for it has been made available on our map. Or rather, has been revealed on our map. It was always available, we just didn't know where it was. And
turn right.
Turn. Now, the aggression vehicles in general don't really have the best handling, but they have good enough handling to where I don't really feel the want to complain about, unlike certain speed vehicles that we'll get into later and specific aggression vehicles. The last third of this game's vehicles that I'll be showing off, I have huge fucking issues with. And to be perfectly honest, a majority of the vehicles that we unlock in the game don't really have the issues that I really want to complain about. Especially when it comes to right off the get-go. But yeah, sometimes Gerdette is just bad at this game.
The game had calculated the wreck-causing accident even before you contacted the vehicle. That is really funny.
Yeah, that principle that it uses in order to do those wrecks does seem unfair at specific instances. Probably that I won't actually be showing off. In general, for burning routes, if you're actually decent enough to know what the route either is or can be, you can afford to wreck usually twice before the race is effectively over, and you should just restart. However, it wasn't until I got to the literal very end of this run-through that I learned that you could actually restart events while in them, or that you could quit events while in them. This would have been really handy to know during earlier parts of the playthrough. I won't spoil as to why, but yeah. Ugh.
Are there challenges that require you to max out the number of near misses you get before you finish the circuit?
I believe that there is a specific achievement tied to that, but as for race challenges, no, not so much.
So that near miss system that I've been observing must also be the same engine that calculates whether or not you just wrecked your vehicle.
Yeah, more or less. All right, so we unlocked a new vehicle there, the Mesquite Custom, but we also unlocked a really interesting system that this game has, the Overworld Rival system. And while you're driving around Paradise City, as Atomica just attempted to mention, you will sometimes find opposing vehicles that you can take down in order to claim their vehicles. Specifically, at the moment, we just have the Nakamura SI7 available to fight, and I will eventually go and stumble across that. All right, so now that we've got the Mesquite Custom, I get to show off that it is just slightly better in exactly one stat over the normal Mesquite. But it looks slightly cooler once we actually get it repaired, and yeah, there are enough performance differences between the upgraded versions to where I would say that most of the time the upgraded versions are just straight up better than the base versions. This holds true for almost every single vehicle in the game. There are a couple towards the end where I feel it's not actually true, but if you were skilled with those vehicles, it probably would be true. Yeah, right there. That guy in front of us, that's Nakamura SI7. I know you can't really tell, but Atomica pointed it out. And come on. Ah, damn it.
But it came at a great cost.
No, we didn't get him.
You wrecked your car.
We didn't get him. We tried to fight him, and he crashed, but it doesn't count as our win because we wrecked first. So now he wrecked us, the bastard.
Successive wrecks. Oh, it is just hilarious.
In this event, you are the marked man.
All right, we're redoing Rescue Me because, this is a marked man event that I do pretty much on each of the licenses that we do, more or less because I know right where it is from my favorite junkyard garage.
Here they come. Oh, they're out for blood.
Not my blood specifically, and oil and metal.
We don't even bleed.
And
Matter of
whoosh!
fact, I can't even see a human being behind the wheel of the car right now.
Yeah, there are no human models behind the wheel of our vehicles. Specifically because I think it was Burnout 1 or 2 got some pretty significant controversial clapback from it was either advertisers or parents groups, one of the three, that said no, you're not allowed to have these horrific accidents have people in them.
Maybe Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
It probably wasn't Mothers Against Drunk Driving specifically, but it may have been a parents group of some kind.
I mean, it's one thing to crash your car, another thing to cause other people to crash their car, but driving around with an expired license, now you've gone too far.
Whoosh!
Rocket Rabbit Commentaries does not condone the breakage of the law while behind the wheel of an automobile.
Unless you're playing video games, in which case
Unless
break
you're
all
playing
of the
video
laws! All of
Pretty
them!
much, yes. I mean, we just broke like 5 traffic laws just in the past 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Speeding, changing lanes without... Actually, I don't think it's against the law to change lanes without signaling, but it is against the law to change lanes in the middle of an intersection.
All right. So, with that one, this is more or less how the gameplay loop goes from here. We, go around discovering new events that we want to do. Oh, we finally have access to the I can't remember what they're called. Screw it. Offline times. Every street in the game has got two different events associated with it. An offline time and a crash record. I'll get into what those are after we do our first after we do our first road rage. Road Rage, welcome to Burnout 3's combat system, for the most part. Now we are actively encouraged to crash our opponent's vehicles into, other vehicles, things around the map, and yeah. Now, here's the thing: the first 10, 20 road rages that you do are going to be, just extremely simple. But yeah, this was a thing. This was a thing that I figured out relatively late into the playthrough during my test recording. That you could actually just cancel out of an event or finish an event just by stopping your vehicle. It is extremely important that you know this. That way, you don't have to spend so much time doing the road rages.
Right.
Because the road rages, because the first 10 or 20 road rages are stupidly simple. The car combat system is actually really heavily in favor of you whilst you're in an aggression vehicle during a road rage event. The car combat system is heavily against you if you are, in a speed class vehicle and in marked man. But yeah,
watch out for the other drivers.
And here is where we have one of the absolute worst finish lines in the entire game, the fucking observatory. Please note that it says we have to go 5 fucking miles. The entirety of the map is, if you go by a linear circle, no more than about 15 miles. So, to be perfectly honest, this event right here is effectively more than a third of the goddamn map that we have to traverse. I hate having to go to the observatory for a finish line. And if you know where an event is, you can actually preview what the finish line is before you get there or before accepting it. But it's a thing I don't actually do because that involves showing up the map screen and trying to figure out where the fuck I want to go. Not a thing that I want to do whilst I'm recording.
Alright, so our car has taken some damage from grinding up against the walls. Alright, we took down a black car. Thank you for the takedown notice. Takedown number 2. So where F-Zero X will give you that pink strip of, I guess, wax that will save the health bar on your vehicle, which you can actually see in F-Zero X. In this game, you just get a full restore by going through an auto repair shop. I haven't seen any auto repair shops on this freeway.
Yeah, there is. Damn it!
I love that the camera will continue rolling so that the physics engine will what's the word I'm looking for? It will exhibit, it will exhibit what happens to your vehicle in total before it comes to a complete stop due to gravity.
Now, knowing where the repair shops are on the map is extremely important. That's a paint shop, and for these Markman and the Road Rage events. But to be perfectly honest, although there are several repair shops on the map, finding them while you're racing is not how you want to do it. You want to spend your time in the overworld figuring out where events are and where specific landmarks, important landmarks for races are, like specifically shortcuts, repair shops, and those are the 2 big ones. But super jumps are also really important because super jumps tend to give you extreme advantages depending on what part of the map you're on. Like the super jump that we've just passed behind us, about 10 seconds ago, that actually takes you to the train section of the map, which means that we would not be able to finish this event because getting back up here from the train section is a fucking nightmare.
So there are a variable number of black cars that you can achieve takedowns on. Now, the game must be keeping track of how many takedowns you get during these missions, even if they are not conducive to the win condition.
It does. I think there's a specific achievement for getting 500 takedowns in events, but oh well. In the next episode,
in total.
we'll be continuing on with Burnout Paradise. Be safe, everybody.